Our second inductee tonight is retired Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Donolli. Certified in 1973, like Larry, Joe found his home early in his career. Only 5 years after being certified, Joe made his way to Gettysburg University, where he worked until retirement in 2013. I'm not sure how many of you in the room know, but Joe threw shot put in another life, in his career, another life. Reading his resume, I learned a lot about Joe. Last night I actually had a quiz on it. He started telling me some stories and I started finishing some sentences and he's like, "How do you know that?" "I read your resume." "How do you know that?" "I read your resume." So it was pretty interesting to read it and then have him talking about it, not even knowing that I was going to talk about some of those things tonight. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Donolli served his country in Vietnam, has an extensive military record, and was awarded the U.S. Meritorious Service Award and the Bronze Star for service, Army Commendations Award, and the Republic of Vietnam Campaign and Service Awards. Joe's desire to serve is not only associated with the military. He has served as the PATS Hall of Fame Committee Chair, Convention Committee Chair, Convention Site Coordinator, and participated in a number of Hike to Harrisburg advocacy trips. Joe was awarded the PATS Service Award in 2009. Lieutenant Colonel Donolli has worked with athletes in the collegiate setting, the Senior Games, and the Special Olympics. He has written and received numerous grants, conducted a number of research projects, and given dozens of presentations. Please join me in welcoming Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Donolli into the class of 2014 Pennsylvania Athletic Training Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. At ease. God, nobody's called me that in a long time. And I'm not sure they used to call me that except in public. I promise you I will be brief for A.J. Duffy did not write this. I shouldn't talk about A.J. because he's not here. Okay, let's go. First, when I heard of my nomination, I was surprised and honored. I was overwhelmed and was humbled by the thought of those already in the Hall of Fame, since I'm on the Hall of Fame committee. And when I think of one person in particular, many of them I know, but one person in particular that has a very similar background to me and is sitting over at that table and he outranks me. So I don't know how you did it, Phil, in your lifetime, but you did it. And so I'll say that. I need to thank Guy Sangioli for nominating me, Yvette Ingram, and the Board of Directors for approving my nomination, and the members of the Hall of Fame Committee for their recommendation. This is truly an honor. I also need to, I want to overlook, I need to congratulate my fellow inductees and the award winners tonight from both in PATS and NATA. This is an amazing group. When you look at the whole thing, I can't get clumped here. Okay. I need to tell you a story, and this is a clean one. My freshman football coach at the University of Delaware, his name was Scotty Duncan, during a pregame pep talk, told the team that, and I quote, "It's not the rungs on the ladder, it's the fish in the pond." We all looked at each other like, what the hell is he talking about? So we all had no idea what he was talking about or what he meant. And so I'll talk to you a little bit later about that. Okay, first, I want you to realize how lucky that I've been throughout my life. Positive, lucky, whatever. Number one, to be raised in America. You know, the lieutenant colonel thing is nice, but to be raised in America, you better think about that, you know, and thank the Lord for that. My mom died when I was 7. Dad had 5 kids to raise and worked long hours. And in order to make that lucky, we had to be a pretty good family, and we were. Sports were important to me. Number one, as my dad would say, they kept me off the street. You know, they allowed me to attend college. Pure and simple. Scholarship, or you don't go, you drive a beer truck. So with the college thing, there was many lucky stories also that I won't bother you with now. At the University of Delaware, I met a teacher and a mentor and became a friend by the name of Roy Rylander. You remember Roy, huh? Tough bird, but he was a great teacher and actually became friends. I received a graduate assistantship for my master's in therapeutic physical education from Temple University, and I happened, and this is funny because we had a great time, I happened to meet in classroom and in the training room Ted Quadenfeld, who's a Hall of Famer also, and we came to be pretty good friends gradually after I got out of there. I barely made the grade at Delaware. I barely made the grade for advanced ROTC, but received my commission, and 2 years later on active duty with the Army, and my last year in Vietnam, as you were told already. And the lucky part of that story is that I came home. I was getting more and more lucky gradually as I matured. I met this young lady by the name of Olive Parsons before going overseas. She waited for me that year, and she became Olive Donolli. She's here. We raised 3 children, 3 young ladies, and who are also here. She waited for me that whole year, and then we got married, and along came the children. So again, I say to you that family is important, okay? Again, 1971, I got a job at Gettysburg College. Hasn't been a university yet. And I met Gareth Lefty Beiser. He's sitting at the table over here. He became my mentor, my boss, and my friend. We shared a lot of years together. We shared the same feelings that if we were responsible for a program or a facility, we wanted it to be the best. We were both athletic trainers, teachers, and also were assigned other responsibilities. I think Lefty taught every single course in the curriculum at one time or another. Another lucky situation at the University of Delaware. This is in the 1960s, folks. A couple of friends and I were discussing what we wanted to do professionally. 2 of us agreed that, gee, we wanted to coach and teach at a small college like Bucknell, Lafayette, Lehigh, Gettysburg, you know, and here I am. The other guy in that group said, I want to be president of the United States. I think you might know him. His name is Joe Biden. Yeah. He got pretty close. That's as far as I'm going with that. Okay, all things did not start out lucky, okay? I became the head athletic trainer in 1988. That September, a young male lacrosse player died on our practice fields during fall practice. Subsequently, the college, the coach, the AD, and I were sued. 7 years later, the suit was settled. The good news that came out of that suit was that the 3rd District Court of Appeals in Philadelphia ruled that, number 1, the institution had the responsibility to provide adequate medical care for its athletes. And I think about athletic training just starting up, you know, and trying to grow. That's a pretty nice pat on the butt. The college had to have a written emergency action plan, and number 3, they recommended that all coaches be trained in CPR and first aid. So in an underhanded way, this may have been my most significant contribution to the athletic training profession. You know, it's an unfortunate thing, but something good came out of it, at least for the profession. Gettysburg College has always been supportive of their athletic training program. Just look at the new facility that we have. I guess it was an opportunity to do that through HydroWorks, but not many people took advantage. It's beautiful if you see it. In 1927, Romeo Capozzi was hired as an athletic trainer. Subsequently, Gareth Lefty Beiser took over. I took over as a head athletic trainer, and now Mike Cantelli is the head athletic trainer. That's 4 people since 1927. So I guess if we get there, we must like it, all right? We've had athletic directors that have greatly supported our programs over the years. I will mention 2 of them because they are represented here tonight. Mr. Hen Brame was our athletic director for a long time. I don't know the exact years, Tim. And his grandson is the head athletic trainer at Penn State University. I think they're sitting in the back, or over here. Tim Brame is in attendance. His granddad helped us an awful lot for a long time. Also in attendance, a very supportive friend of mine, and the current athletic director, Dave Wright, is here. And I thank you, Dave, for all that help. I need to point out and thank my family again for all their support, especially Olive, my wife, for 44 years. My daughter, Jacqueline, is here. Danielle, Stephanie are here. And tonight, in addition, is my best fan. My granddaughter, Savannah Scott Schneider, is here to witness this. I need to thank many, many friends. Gareth and Shirley Beiser here, Dave Wright, I mentioned, my church family, my military friends, the entire staff at Gettysburg College that I worked with, and especially the athletic training staff. Mike Cantelli, the head athletic trainer, who was a student of mine, and who was nice enough not to point out too often that he was smarter than I was. Did a good job at that. Also, Kerry Garrett, Dr. Sam DeGata, who's our orthopedic consultant, Dr. Adam Wasserman, who is one of the doctors in the health center that is now our supervising doctor. Katie Folbert, Lindsay Rep. And those young ladies right at the end, Kerry, Katie, and Lindsay, are the ones now who are teaching Mike. Okay? All right, every athletic training student, I need to thank every athletic training student over the 42 years that I was at Gettysburg College, from the Gettysburg College programs to the Messiah College to Lock Haven University, students that worked for us, all the students that worked on our summer camps staff that came here. I not only tried to hire you, and I know this is not good, it doesn't sound good coming from an athletic trainer, hire you as workers, but also to try to teach you some things as we work through the summer. So thank you. I thank you for your hard work, your willingness to learn. You all have done very well. I read on Facebook and I watch you and I see different things. And you all have done very well professionally and personally. I see so many babies and marriages and stuff going on, things like that. So I really appreciate that. I thank you very much for all of that, for training me. I am honored, truly honored, and I am reminded that, again, it is not the rungs on the ladder, it's the fish in the pond. It's you. It's all of you that trained me, and I thank you.